Hello, guys. Today I'm going to continue the campaign. I'm going to talk about the army. Yeah? What is my proposal for the army? Because in this moment, with the current debt and the debt ceiling and was lifted, and well, they are going to take from them from the budget of defense. Yeah, because it's like another public service. Yeah, it's going to be lower over the GDP. Well, in this moment we are in war, but I mean like the basic of the of the budget. Today I was hearing about Henry Kissinger. Well, he is a very important person. Everybody knows who he is, and he is speaking about that in these days everything is America first, and that there used to be a time, well, that America used to export values and freedom, and now it's not the case. And well, I spoke about that also, but I think, well, he's a bigger size planet than me. I think maybe most likely I I echo him in that. Yeah, and that is very important for the army. Yeah, what is the image that other citizens of the world have when they see an American soldier? When they see an American air carrier in their coast. There's fear, respect, hope. Yeah, that is something that is has to be in the mind of the army. Very important because that is the image of the United States. Not like a football team, because a football team is like you win in the football and you are fucked in real life. That is that is like wrong. Even to play those things. That's why the United States has the worst soccer football team and is the most powerful country in the world. So sometimes it's better to lose at games, but we win with love, you know, with evil, with Rome, which is America now. So I have four things. My first thing is budget, because, well, the empire is also a currency empire of the dollar. And what the Fed pays for the protection of the empire of the dollar, it pays nothing at all. And that is wrong, because without the army, the Fed wouldn't be able to, well, to send dollars all across the world, have the banking system that takes from the Fed and put the dollars into China, into Japan, into India, into all Southeast Asia, all across Latin America, in Africa. Well, there is a lot of euro movement there, but also the people also move dollars because, well, you know that the CIA also move dollars everywhere, and everybody has to pay for the usage of the dollar, the protection that gives the American army to them. And that is super important because behind the CIA is all the cartels, the Bitcoin, all the cryptosphere, and all of that has to start paying taxes to the American army, because that they are the ones that ensure the protection of the rights of and everything that they take for granted when they make those business, like the crypto, like the, well, the let's say, not talk about illegal, but informal trade between countries of demanded goods and service, because those are business that give, put food in the billions of people tables. And it's no lie, I'm not a hypocrite. That has to be solved, but in this moment we are talking about the budget. and also all the banking thing of the world and everything. They have to pay taxes to the army because they depend on the army, and without army there is no United States. Because the people don't fear, with all the respect, the Congress or the White House or anything. No, the people in the world, the terrorists of the world, the belligerent countries, they fear the air carrier at their coast. They fear the nuke. They fear the B-2 Spirit flying over the government house. They fear that. They don't fear anything else. And that is why they respect and do whatever the banking system needs, whatever they allow the movement of the dollars and everything else, when they know that some most of the times, well, it puts a thing for a lot of countries, and others gives a lot. But for the ones that don't give, is the army. Because you have, it's like the lever. What is the lever? The collateral, the lever that you have the army, of course. So the Fed has to pay at least 10% of their what taxes has the Federal Reserve? Any. At least 10% of the interest have to go directly to the army. Because it's what allows the Fed to have a global banking system. The army. So the budget has to, because Powell, is ransacking the Treasury and the army, and everyone see Powell there and here and that, and what Powell gives to the Treasury, a single penny. They say, oh, we buy the treasuries at an interest that we lose money. Well, the buying treasuries is like a joke, because Secretary Yellen is the only one person that can sign the bills by the Constitution. So if the Constitution says that, the Federal Reserve should at least cover the deficit, and lever that with interest rates. Because if not, the lower income people is the ones that suffer the most. And he always said that, but he doesn't do anything to solve it. He started to pay also because the Pentagon is the one that organized all the model. The Pentagon is the true Treasury and the Fed combined. The Pentagon is the one that has the scientists that created the torus model and everything that we see, and all the thing that controlled every single soul of the planet. The Pentagon. And its budget has to be covered, yes or yes. Because if not, everyone in the Western world is going to die horribly. Because we have done a lot of bad shit to a lot of other people in the world. So that has to be solved. And my proposal is for the Fed to start paying for the Treasury and the Army. And it's not that I want to rob the bank. Of course, no. But it has to be, like Biden says, it's fair share, because he goes to the business that doesn't have any credit, and say, hey, pay your fair share, or go to a person that has a few bucks saved and took half of the money just to fuck that person. But he's not he is supposedly the most powerful person of the world, but he's not able to talk to the Fed and say, hey, I need the money for the Treasury, I need the money for the army, and I'm not buying you I'm not selling you a single Treasury. This is our fucking money. He doesn't speak like that with him, but to the little guy he does. He did not even speak to us. It just does do the things to us. So that has to be solved. The second thing of the army is the coverage. Because well, with an increasing budget and everything, it becomes like you need to change the concept of the warfare, but not to only in the digital sphere. Obviously, that has to be well because we now live in an AI world, and everyone is AI driven, and well, if you can have hackers, you can have everything, and you need to have a lot of shit to do that because if not, you are not able to. The Pentagon has to ensure that they are the ones in command of every single soul of the planet, and for that, need a lot of power, a lot of energy, a lot of things to ensure that. Yeah, and that has to be done. The coverage have to be 100% of security, as a global empire. Yeah? Coverage. Also, from the space, because in this moment we don't have deployment from the space, at least not public, and we need to solve that. Because for example, if we have to go to a war, let's say, remember Iraq, yeah, it has to 1 month. Why? Because you have to organize everything, take the carriers there, and move everything to talk to your allies, everything, and then you deploy the troops, and then you make the war. You need to be able to make a war possible in 1 hour. The time it takes the soldier to be there, and that's it. Or 2 hours, or 5 hours, one day. And for that, we need deployment from space. Yeah, we need to see how, for example, you can make a carrier of planes that can go to space and go directly like a missile. Yeah, like intercontinental missile, and it opens in the planes. Or you have planes in the space, so you can just deploy the planes. And you send the population there, and they arrive directly from the space. Because that saves a lot of stuff. For example, in Middle Asia, yeah, if we are now in war with Russia, let's say we need to attack or defend the countries like Uzbekistan or Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, excuse me, Kyrgyzstan, uh, go back to Afghanistan or defend Azerbaijan. It's difficult. Or in the middle of Africa, it's safer, way safer to just go from the space. Space is the next frontier. For deployment is easier the space because if I travel from here to, let's say, I don't know, India, yeah, well, the air is going to give me like is going to stop my travel, because of the wind, because of the air. So it's easier to go through a space. And the Space Force was made, and of course the Space Force is also an analogy for say that they created like the digital sphere that now controls all the world and stuff like that. But it has to be also for the new generation of fighters. Cannot be just it has to be air and space together. Not only air, it has to be space and earth. Because the air carriers of the future will be like the Star Wars, in the space, and we are going to have like the next carriers are going to be in the space, and the nuclear power allows that, to be on the in the space, and you can move there, and you can, have everything that you need, and with the private contractors like Tesla and different ones, you can, well, take everything that you need to there. Same as when you take to any air carrier around the world, is going to be more or less the same, because, well, it's improving with time, so the coverage is very important, and in the space can well, you can even have all the garbage that is in the space, and you can make it to make factories of the weaponry in the space, because that is also a big thing. We see with Russia that they have hyper expensive hardware, and it doesn't work for anything, I was, for example, when they kidnapped me there in Mexico, I was in the, well, I don't know, this is just, it should be confidential, and this moment with Trump's thing and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you this story. So I was in the plane, no, and I said, and I started seeing that I had a degree of control over the plane with my AI, and me as amazing as what I was trained by the U.S. Army, and it was like, well, at that moment, I don't know. It's not that I am a psychopath, I don't know, but I start like moving the plane, like driving it, flying it, the plane, and of course it was like a little bit of fear, no, because, well, I wanted like treat it like a war, like, so the pilot knew that I was in charge, not him, but I wasn't able, not because I didn't try, it's because I was not capable of doing that. I was too afraid of doing it, No, maybe lose control, maybe we all died, I don't know, And it was in me, and they say, "Oh, you found the no." Yeah, I can say that if you want. Okay. Uh, and I asked the Pentagon if I was able to manage with the pedals and everything like that, like well, to take control of the ship, But they didn't answer, so I didn't do it, So, but the thing is that if I can do it, of course, well, yeah. I don't know if they do that, if it was maybe because we went near Nicaragua, maybe if something happens, so they can take over the plane through me, or I don't know, Maybe Arturito was controlling the ship, and well, that's another thing for after 9/11 that I cannot speak about. It's confidential, The thing is that we have that power now, and if we have it, maybe the others can get it, So one of our planes is $100 million, and we cannot lose it like anything, We have to make sure that the next generation of those are cheaper and more capable, Because, well, Ukraine is winning the war with $100, $200 drones. It's not to like take the credit, but I was the one that created that strategy. Because since I was a kid, I knew that the countries were bought and sold for money and for interest. So I never asked anyone how to defend my country. I planned it always by myself. If something happened, how could I defend my country alone? And I was recruited later by the United States uh, government. You know, I'm gonna say, um, 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 yeah. So, um, no, when they're telling me the life, okay. so, so I always plan to do it myself, and cheap because, well, as you know, I come from a region in America that is not that rich, you know. And well, I don't trust governments for the budget of the army because I know they are communist, and most of them, with all the respect of a lot of people, they are cronies, and the ones that say that they are not like Trump, well, they are the ones that are the most, you know. So I don't believe in, I believe in fairy tales, but I don't believe in heroes, So that's why I always accept that I am a villain also. Because that I want to be villain for my people, for the American secret, well, the intelligence, the CIA, the NSA, and the army, of course, and under the orders of the president of the United States. Now I'm running. Well, yeah, I'm trying to do it. They are not like wanting to accept my nomination. Even when my everything, my AI brain and everything was created on the United States, it was born there. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm fighting for that. Okay. So that is the second thing that I have. Yeah. Now they are right the thing here. Give me 1 second. So one moment. So give me one moment, please. Bajarle un poquito. Okay. So coverage, super important. Yeah. And the the size of the things. You know? For example, a tank. It is like 15, $20 million, and a fucking grenade can throw the tank to end. So I don't know, a $50 grenade, and $50 grenade is if it's a good grenade, because you can have a grenade for $5. If you put a grenade in a tank of 20 million and you blow the fucking tank, it's not fair. It's not that you say, oh, try to do it. No, it's not try to do it. Put it in the correct place and you fuck the tank. So you need to start getting better things for cheaper price. Because most of the wars, where now it is like you need new wars to learn how to and develop new weapons. You know, that I hear the far right saying, "Oh, now the wars are created, so we can use weapons." I don't know what war. Maybe they in what planet they live in. Maybe in their condos or in their Call of Duty. It's yeah. It's not like that in the war now. Obviously, like why the Black Hawk was created to serve a purpose in Vietnam. Why the planes that we have now were created to fight in the Second World War was like the prototype and stuff like that to win over the normal planes. Yeah. Why the bombers were created, so the air coverage didn't catch them, so they fly super high. Huh? So you lose, and then you start making better and better and better and better, and then you get what the top the state of the art or state of the art weaponry. Yeah, that's what you get. Yeah, how you do it. I have also I have made prototypes for the Pentagon and weaponry since since like a lot of years, more than a decade. Of analog weaponry, yeah, because now they say, oh, you can have like, well, the thing is that you can, the more technology that you get, the easier you can be get down without technology, because you don't have protection for that. So the it's like a mouse and an elephant. It's basic like analogies of nature. So the budget has to improve, but the things has to have to be really good. But the same thing and the no. You know. So that's what it gets. The third thing, I've been working on something that is, well, I'm going to announce it now, for years now. That is the motorless. Yeah. So for example, when you speak about the quantum. For example, quantum computer is a computer that has all the possibilities of all the other computers of the world at that time that could be possible. It's not that they do it. No. Could be possible. It has to be on. It has to be, yeah. Maybe it has to be the possibility that is on even. Because it's four dimensions. It's a physics model and all stuff. Quantum. So you have to have quantum movement also. Like with the dark matter and all the stuff. So it's motorless technology. Like for example, you have one big computer and with a lot of processors and like a big tower and stuff like that. And you can have cloud computer with that, and you can have no processor at your cell phone, for example. Same thing if you apply that to the motors, yeah, to the movement. Imagine you can have only one movement, one motor per city, or in the army bases you can have one big propulsion, and you can move there, or you can have like something that you can move in the space, and then you can yeah. Well, it's like an overview, huh? Because what I meant is like having the rotation, but without the rotation. They're having the rotation without. I cannot speak about that because they then became like violent. Yeah. Just for if you then you see it, they say they are going to say, oh, we have this since the early 20s. Okay, Albert, we are not going to give you anything. You're a stupid guy. Okay, we don't let you free, but you are not anything that you say is true. Okay, because they say like that. So I have that. The motorless technology, because that is also for the cars. Yeah, and for everything. Because even with the electric cars, you have to have one battery in each car, and when it's not maybe that there is no motor like a big motor that makes, but you need to have like there is a motor, for the electric car. So why you don't need that? All the galaxy is moving not because any of the planets are moving. It's just because of the black hole have magnetism, have quantum. Yeah. All the economy of the world moves from the Fed. Fed represents quantum. Yeah. The black hole. That is what a quantum computer is. That is chemistry. That is not physics. That is what represents the chemistry. It's not that there is chemistry, it is physics, but it's what the side of the brain gives you chemistry. It is not just physics, but it's the other thing around. It's not gravity. Gravity gives you oil, gives you all the stuff. What I'm talking about is the real left. not the far right communists saying that they are left. No, I'm talking about real left. Okay, talking about an army for and by the people with the best of the best, like it is now, but it's unsustainable in the budget and stuff like that. It's having the best of the best of the best with less money, and now with all the possibility of the thinking and all the stuff to be able to the to not the enemy not being able to develop what we have. Yeah, and I work for the army in that doing weaponry for. I used to do more than that. Now I'm just in the economic thing and stuff like that because, well, I don't know. That's what I studied, you know. And but I also have well a lot of things for the even in the Ukraine. I was the first one in that arrived, you know, with the CIA and the army. We prepared the population of Ukraine for the invasion and stuff like that was imminent, and we were the first ones in well in create the movement, and that now is the all the coalition and the new members of NATO and everything. I was the first one to arrive there, and that they cannot deny that. Well, because that was now they even the Yahoo Finance chat is closed because of that. Well, I don't know if now it's open, but they don't allow me there anymore. I'm banned for real, no, for not like Trump that it was banned when their polls started going down. And he can't explain because they say, oh, now Trump is hiding the Obama gate because Albert is the Obama gate. He was recruited when Obama, and that is a lie. I was there with them all my life. I became active with Obama, and I thank him for that. Now, the ones that have seriously things is him with the Operation War. Well, I'm not going to speak about that because he lived through a pandemic, and obviously the one that has more secrets of anything, and the one that cover most information of every single president that we have lived under is Donald Trump, because in that pandemic, imagine, it's not that a subject that I want to speak about. It's just that it's like he says that like he's Obama Gate and Biden Gate. It's like, bitch, please, how many people die in that joke that he makes just to print the fucking money. So, um, the motorless technology is super important, because that involves the second